Try to imagine the impossible. Imagine something that is 12 hours long but lasts forever. Something that is the size of a planet but small enough you can drive by it on your way to work. Something so vital that in its absence we would not survive, yet millions live their lives without even touching it. It's not easy, is it? Maybe this will help. Doing the impossible starts with the improbable. It starts with something small, not large. A single day, perhaps. A day of caring.
We now officially kick off the Day of Caring 2009. Y'all have a good day. Thank you.
Number one, we want to feed Amarillo's kids. That's the first reason we're here. They have 800, 900 kids that they feed with their kids' kitchen. And this garden here, that's coming into being even as we speak, is going to help feed those kids. Now think about this. This is all of Amarillo here. We have grass clippings from people's yards. We have wood chips from their trees. We have composted cattle manure from feed yards. And it's all coming together here to produce food for Amarillo's kids. The whole community is in here. That's why it's a community garden, because the community is contributing.
United Way is involved because our new emphasis is community impact. It's easy to give people a check or something to help them today, but you're also giving people skills like me about planting gardens like this that they can carry for a long, long time and impact things way past today.
I got involved through the High Plains Institute of Applied Ecology. I'm a certified arborist and been gardening and landscaping for over 30 years. We're doing a lasagna garden which doesn't disturb the soil life that's already there, the bacteria and the fungi. And I think this is probably the best thing I've ever done.
The first thing that happens is that it gets mowed and the ground then gets aerated just with one of those plugger machines. It's not dug up. And then there's nutrients, trace elements that are minerals really that are put down. And then there's a layer of compost. And there's not very much compost in it. And then there's some wood chips. And then there's some more grass. And then there's newspaper. And there's some more wood chips. So it's called lasagna style.
We're trying to maximize the amount of space we have in the ground and work towards being able to plant a seed and give it just as much space and nutrients as it needs. So nothing more and nothing less.
So we have our makeshift 1-foot ruler, and we come in and we're planting cabbage right now, which requires a square footage per one seed to grow. So we'll come in and measure our foot. That's a square footage right there. Take our seed ball and we just dig about 6 sheets down through the newspaper and set our seed ball right in there. Below the newspaper is just is grass, and so it's just right on that. And when we come back with the mulch, we'll surround it, but be sure and protect our seed ball. Come down, 2nd foot, dig another hole just under those 6 layers of newspaper. Place 1 more cabbage seed ball right in there.
What seed balls are is an equal mixture of compost, clay, and seeds that you mix up and let dry and harden because there's so much clay in it. And then they would scatter them. They use this a lot in India and Africa for reseeding desolate areas. They'll scatter them out and the seeds won't sprout until there's enough moisture to melt the clay. Here we just have dirt with a little tiny bit of clay as a binder and water, and mix it up, and we just made little, clumps, mud pies.
I guess I lied.
I've never seen a garden planted like this. Fortunately, we had some folks that really knew what they were doing. For instance, the first meeting we had, I said, okay, can I buy the 7 dust to apply to all the plants to keep the bugs off? That's the way I've always planted gardens, but we don't do that.
Yeah, when we got these plants from Irwin Nursery in Canyon, we were very grateful for their donation. We got them in like July. We put them out on a 90+ degree day. I thought they're toast. Especially, we had a week or 10 days of really hot weather and no water. I came back about 2 weeks later and these plants were thriving, and there you have it. Now I got to go to work.
We get probably a handful of people just stopping at this location every day saying, I've just driven by a couple times and I just have to stop and ask, what in the world are you guys doing?
Getting ownership from the neighborhood is one thing we know is very important. And we had a little boy out here yesterday who lives right across the street and worked all day long.
We've seen them in the past couple weeks, and they've kind of just hung out in their front yard, and it was kind of like one day we were like, you guys can always come over whenever you want, and they've just shadowed us the last couple days. They've opened up more and more every day, and they're joking with us now, and they're just a part of our team. But it's that energy that we need, the energy that we want, and we'll keep this project going. They're the future of this project.
Many young people nowadays, one, don't know how to cook. Everybody's fast fooding it, which we know is not the healthy thing to do. Also know nothing at all about growing their own food, about gardening. There's certainly been a new emphasis on the fact that our nation is not a real healthy nation. We're dealing with obesity, we're dealing with diabetes, and everything tells you the best thing in the world for you are fresh fruits and vegetables.
Right now, if you look at the American plate of food, the average distance that food has traveled is over 1,500 miles. If you produce your food locally, you reduce transportation costs. You reduce the use of fossil fuel to get your food here. You reduce greenhouse gas emissions. You're helping reduce climate disruption. You're keeping all those resources here. You're keeping the wealth and abundance of our community here. You're not bringing it in and sending the dollars out. It's staying here. It's not processed. It's real food.
While we feed many, many thousands of people throughout the Texas Panhandle, it would be very nice to also be able, instead of just giving them fish, to teach them to fish.
And I think we accomplished our goal in a way of community impact and making a difference in a long-range time frame.
Vacant lots in neighborhoods could be used for community gardens, and people could organize their own neighborhood to produce food for themselves. And that's kind of the direction we'd like to see it go.
I'm Jenna Hodges. I'm the Teen and Arts Director for the YMCA, and we're out here today with a bunch of our youth from our different youth groups to help paint and beautify the garden. They need benches, so we're out here painting benches. We're painting the Welcome to the Garden sign and decorating the potato beds and everything we can, so we're just having a really good time today.
Refrigerator, there was a piece of glass. Mary sat upon it and had her little lassie. No more questions, I'll tell you no more lies. Cows in the pasture making chocolate pies.